Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to set the column spacings and to fix columns. So if we go on layout design, again, let's put in a very simple rectangle. So if we click on there, let's leave it as it is. So let's say, for the sake of argument, we want to fix a line of columns somewhere. So if we do fix column locations, let's say we have a building with a corridor through the center. So if we click on here, we can now set a side length at, say, 10 meters, create. We can do another one at 14 meters, create. And what we've basically done is force two grids. So in the event that the columns want to be on these lines, this will now split the slab accordingly. Add shapes as upper floors, press OK, run analysis. And what we can now see is that of all the generated options, we've got a clear column grid which has been forced by the software, by the positions where we've set. This is especially useful, for example, if you're building off existing footings or adding additional stories to another building. Okay, so in this clip, we're going to just show how we set column spacings. So build our default shape, we add a few floors in, press OK. Now, these parameters here always need to be set according to the project you're working on. So let's show the impact of putting these right up. So we're stretching these right out between 3 and 24 meters. We run analysis. We can see that for our simple shape, Panda's generated 88 different grids. 16,400 options. So what we can see by clicking on a layout is that as we go up, okay, so now we're going to talk about the impact of the column spacings. So set up our shape with our basic rectangle. Let's add in a few floors, but allow us to change the parameters, minimum, maximum column spacings, and this will affect how many grids are generated. So if we stretch these right out, so let's lower this to 3, then we run an analysis. We can see that Panda's generated 70 different grids with 13,000 possible combinations. This will take a lot longer to run, and a lot of results that come out, particularly at the lower end of Carbon, might not be the most practical with really tight grid spacing. So this option here, for example, is 3.4 by 3.6. So what we can do is we can use this and actually provide something more practical. So for example, if the client specifies that grids need to be a minimum of 6 meters, we can change this. And if we know, for example, that there's a restriction on length on site, or we just don't want to go too long with our grid span to save on carbon, we can change that, run again, and we can see that number drops right down to 6 different grids and 1,000 options. And you can see how much quicker it runs. And actually what it's doing is filtering out a load of results that may not be practical. We don't have to have the same range in either the X or the Y. And we can obviously run multiple variants on top of each other and see the impact.